Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of Kind of Hot, Kind of Healthy. This episode, as Maddie called it, was girly swirly, which I didn't really know what that meant, but I get it. I get the vibes. We are here for to bring some laughter on your Wednesday. Like this is the episode where if you're having maybe a hard week, this is the episode where you're gonna laugh. You're going to feel like shit. I relate to that. Like we have some dating updates, not for myself, obviously. Um, and I have some like TikTok things that I've been seeing. And we are recording this on the 15th of May. So like keep that in mind. Hopefully they're not like going to be super outdated. It's more just like things that I was seeing. But I got to put my computer on do not disturb. Oh Jesus.
DSD.
I know. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? There we go. Okay. Um, do you want to start with a little update, a little life update, if you will?
Sure. Now I'm like reconsidering my stories.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Why?
oh, why am I hearing the reverb?
Oh, you are?
I
Let's
did
see.
for a second. I
I
think it's
probably
off now.
because I probably came in on the mic hot.
Gotcha. I'm reconsidering them because you're like, you're gonna laugh, and I'm like, should I not tell that story of that craziness that just happened?
No, I think it's like relatable and like I think um
Bless
oh
you.
my God. What is the start of this episode? Like I don't know what's happening. No, I think it is relatable and like on a level funny because like who doesn't most women are going to relate to this and they're going to be like I see you, I hear you and I'm fucking laughing with you because what the fuck was that? Like it's on a
Yeah.
level but like also live your truth if that is like you're like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to talk about that," then don't talk about it.
No, I could talk about it because honestly, like I've talked about it so many times now, like one more time and then it's done. So
Mm.
I probably will write an email about this. So one more time after this. Okay. So update. If you guys have been following along, the highest contender on the roster, Army Man, has now officially left the roster as of 2 days ago. Officially left it forever. So I had a date on Monday and it was eBay Man, which that will be for another day to talk about that whole wormhole. It was a great date. I left and I'm like, this was fantastic. Like just on a level of conversation, maturity, like we're very much on the same wavelength about many things. I went to
Yeah.
his apartment and he made fantastic fucking dinner. It was so good. It was lamb shank with like all of these vegetables and Brussels sprouts, and I love Brussels sprouts and the spinach thing. And then he even got my favorite chocolate and was like, "Oh, I got dessert too. Like, I remember you said this." I'm like, "Oh, that was nice." It was just great. It was a really freaking good date. Like, just talked about boundaries and all kinds of stuff. Like, we were talking about New York City and the itinerary he would make if we went together. I'm like, let's go. Like, why aren't we going now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was great, and I knew I just had this feeling that Army Man knew I was on a date because just the way he was acting, like, weird, because he, as we know, was an anxious attachment and, like, called me every day, and, like, he called me when I was getting ready, and I'm just trying to, like
Just like obsessed. Like on it, yeah, I get like anxious attachment, but like let's talk like how real girls talk. This man was like obsessed. Like cool your jets, pal.
Yeah, like, if I didn't say it's before, like, we were talking for, like, a month before our first date,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
intensely.
Yeah.
And so that's like that rule that rule is like, we don't do that anymore, before a first date because then it's just like, why are you wasting all this time, you know?
And it
So anyway,
creates like a false sense of
yes.
like it's like you're play pretending boyfriend and girlfriend when I like don't fucking know you. But,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you live and you learn.
You live and you learn. So there were many red flags that I overlooked because I was just like, this is fun. Like he's
Yeah.
cute. He likes me. He's giving me all this attention. Like he was speeding in the car when I drove with him and then I told him like I'll never get in the car again with you if you do that. He changed. He switched it like that. I was like, perfect. And then I noticed like very hot-headedness. And this is just
Yes.
something with younger guys. By younger, I mean he's 28. I'm used to dating old
Right.
men.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like 30s and up when I was in my younger 20s. So like I'm not used to dating immature guys. So like I was just like, this is weird. And my mom was like, Madison, he's immature. I'm like, I don't know, is he? He definitely was. So I just noticed that and like just hot-headedness about
Mm.
things and like reactivity is something I strive really fucking hard not to be in
Yeah.
so many ways, like with everything and anything. And so I saw his reactivity and then I was like, would that translate into us like getting to a point where we're screaming at each other? I don't know. I don't want to do that with anyone. Like, I don't want to do that with anyone. So, anyway, I got home late, texted him when I got home because eBay man lived a bit away, and I got home, told him I got home, and then the next day, I could tell he was just weird, and then, like, he was joking around, like, that I was on a date, and then I was like, "Well, if I was on a date, what would you say?" And then he was like, "Well, were you?" And I was like, "I'm not gonna answer that, like, I literally don't have to answer that, like, we are not dating exclusively." And I'm like, If I did go on a date, how would you respond?" He hung up the phone. He hung up the phone. I He's never done that to me, and I was just, like, taken aback, like, "Did he just hang up the phone on me?" So I called him back, and he was like, "Why would I wanna talk to someone who's, like, entertaining other guys?" And I was like, "Sir, like, we're not exclusive, like, you could be entertaining other girls." He's like, Would I if I was entertaining other girls, would I be going to their favorite bakery and getting them something they grew up eating? Would I be doing this? Would I be do Why are you putting everything you did for me, like, back into my face? Like, that's called courting, and that's what you're supposed to do, and I also did not tell you to fucking do that. I did not ask for you to go to the
Yeah.
bakery. I did not ask for you to take me shooting. You just knew those are things I liked, and so you did them because you were courting me, but also you were fucking obsessed. And and then, like, I'm feeling bad on the call. I'm like, "Maybe I am the bad guy here, like, dating other guys. Like, maybe I shouldn't have been doing that." But in reality, like, I'm allowed to do that. Like, we are not exclusive. It only took 4 dates to realize this man was just, like, way too much, way too fast, way anxious attachment, then went to avoidant. Like, you can't say you're all about communication, and then as soon as you hear something you're not happy with, you just hang up.
Mm. Mhm. Yeah.
So I'm there like finding myself fucking groveling, like trying to make amends and be like, forgive me, give me a chance, because I'm supposed to see him the next day. Then I'm talking to Allie and she's like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? You are not groveling. You are not, no, this is done. Like,
Mm.
this could get, like, if he got this hot headed over this, like, I've seen this man get so frustrated in traffic and be like, oh, fuck that dude. Blah. And I was just like, ugh. Like, if you get that frustrated in
Yeah.
traffic, like, I can only imagine if we get in a little bit of a spat or you think I'm doing something wrong, like, what would happen? And then he did say, "This is gonna be in the back of my mind the entire time we're dating,"
Oh, great. Like, wait,
because he
now
got
you're holding shit over my head, and
be Yes.
he
Yep. Because he got cheated on twice, and I was like, "Sir, let me remind you, I was in a marriage that was failing for a year, and I did not cheat. Like,
and,
I'm
like,
not a
also,
cheater."
I don't really give a fuck. Like, you're a douchebag. Like, good. I hope your ass gets cheated on because you're a weirdo, douchebag, walking red flag. I did call it internally from the start
I
because
know.
it's just like, but you have to live your life. You have to live your truth. You're not going
Yeah.
to know these experiences unless you have them. But like, why are you wanting to call me 24/7 if not to like clock where I am? It's weird behavior.
Yeah.
The
I was feeling guilty fast.
and that's
And,
fucked
like
up.
and
That's
I
fucked up.
know. And, like, it was like, my dad was like, "This is the tumultuous ending that you wanted from your marriage that you didn't get." I'm like, Maybe it was, like, kind of like a big bang and that's it." Like, that wasn't
Mm.
like, with my marriage, it was very amicable and, like, nothing really like, I was the one being reactive in the beginning, in the middle, and then towards the end, my reactivity has been depleted and put and healed for
Right.
the most part. We're never truly all healed, 100% of the time. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe it kind of was like someone being like, "You're terrible," and so he was raising his voice at me. He was swearing, not saying "fuck you," but like saying like, "That was so fucking rude." Like, I'm sorry, but like, I don't want a man that raises his voice. Like I want a masculine guy, but I want a guy that is masculine and he's confident and doesn't need to be exuberant. Like the very first phone call I had with him, I got the vibe of you were that guy that has to be the biggest energy in the room. And I don't like that. But I looked past it because he was charming. He was, like night. Like we look past those red flags. We've all done it. Now I have done it. So I think I got swept away in the like I'm getting attention when I wasn't getting attention for so long. And I'm really
Yeah.
glad it only took 4 dates in like a month and a couple like 6 weeks to figure that out. And it taught me a lot, like more of what I don't want. And I think that's such a good experience. I'm not like, "Oh, I regret that. This is also why like I don't have sex with people that aren't like my boyfriend, and no hate, no shade of people that do. But for me, that's just giving so much of myself energetically and like myself. Like I just
Mm.
can't do that. So I can imagine if I had sex with him, I probably would have been even more inclined to like fix it. And knowing me, I would be more inclined to
Yeah.
fix it and make it work because we crossed that boundary already. And I gave that part of
Hmm.
myself already. So I'm really glad I made that decision a while ago, like not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's probably why he was so mad because he probably thought you were having sex with this other guy. And he's like, we haven't even slept together, and I'm going to like her bakery and doing all this shit. Like he was peace and love, probably only doing these things so you would have sex with him. Like going to your
Probably.
favorite bakery. Don't throw that in my face. You wanted to do that. You went
Mhm,
out of your way to do that. Not my
mhm,
problem. Just because
mhm.
you didn't get laid, oh, now you're all sad and crying. Oh, poor you. Fuck you, dude. Grow up. Like,
Yeah.
anything that you talked about in the past and all these bad experiences, yeah, you were the one causing the problems 9.9 out of 10. Like, I don't have
Literally.
time for that like dumbass energy. Like, I swear, if I like, if that type of guy was like at a party I was at, because I've done, like, if I told Maddie this, I was like, if people are pushing on my friends or my sister or my man's, like anybody. Like, I do not like people in my life to be taken advantage of or to like be manipulated or just to be treated like shit. So Kate and I were at this party and this douchebag, his name was Charlie. He was being so rude to Kate. Like he was just like fucking irritating. So now he's like passing around a bottle of vodka. And I was like, oh, Charlie, can I like have some? And I like chugged some, took another chug, spit back in it, gave it back to him. And I was like, take a shot. Like nope, not gonna fuck with like a douchebag energy. It's not becoming. It's just like, what are
No.
you doing? Peace, go about your way, deleting, blocking, good riddance.
Yeah, I mean, I already blocked him off social media a long time ago because, like, that was before
Block
I
the
took
number. Ugh, get rid of that
I
garbage.
never again.
I love
So,
blocking a
yeah,
number.
I don't have any blocked really, actually.
Oh,
Maybe
really?
just
Oh,
spam. Yeah, just spam, I guess.
I have a block
Um,
list.
so that's the big excuse me, that's the big update with Ari Man. He is gone, he is dead, RIP. He's in the same
You are
folder.
cut off.
He's in the same folder as One Sleeve. So may those two do whatever they
You
do.
fucking deserve
Um
each other, you two weirdos.
literally. One more fun dating update. So return of Skier Boy, the one who we said that we were going to give another chance to. We weren't really
Mm-hmm.
sure. He's also in that folder now, the dead folder, not because of anything bad, but because like he just didn't like follow through.
Yeah.
So I texted him, gave him the second chance. I'm like, hey, like I thought about what you said, like, relationships start with a great friendship. Like, let's do something again. And then we picked a day and it was supposed to be tomorrow, which is the 16th. And he said, great. And this was 2 weeks ago. Great. I'll text you next week with plans, like what we'll do. and that we settled on that date like on a Thursday or a Friday of like so 2 weeks ago. And then last Monday rolls around, nothing. And then it's Wednesday, nothing, and it's Friday, nothing. And then now it's this week, it's Thursday right now, the 15th. And I'm like, "Oh, no, he's yeah, we're I don't care if you're busy or whatever it is. I know he runs a business, as do I. So yeah, we're just like not even gonna worry about that. So he's off the contender
Yeah.
list, off the roster. No mas, no mas with that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need that type of energy. If it feels like a
No.
chore, then let's
Yeah.
not go out because that's just what type of energy like are you bringing to the table?
Yeah, I'm not chasing guys. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Not I texted eBay man first one time in the whole history of me texting him so far. And that was it. But I'm not like texting guys first. I'm not doing that. No, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, I just I'm glad, not glad, but it's important that you experienced this man and his bad energy
Early.
because he had a bit of a chokehold on you. And there was really nothing that special about him, to be honest.
I know. It was the chokehold was he was everything my ex was not, and it was
Mm,
mesmerizing.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
It was very mesmerizing. I got caught up. I was doing the clip farming. I was seeing what our life would look like. He was saying like if I could take this job, it's not that far away. We could do this. And I was just like, yeah, like take me along for the ride. Like
Yeah.
I got so like intertwined in that. And I'm very glad I'm like out of that bubble now, like TGIF. Like we're very glad that's over. Um, but yeah, I just see how it's so, like, enthralling and just, like, you're getting all this attention and all this and this is a good, like, segue into, like I feel like we've, like, talked on this, but, like, also maybe not talked on it, I can't remember, but when I started first talking about dating, there were numerous people that were like, "Make sure you do all of your healing, honey. Heal first." And I'm like, I understand it's coming from a good place, and everyone's
Mm,
healing journey through I would say death and divorce are very similar because, like, I kind of have to act like he's dead. Like, yes, we did talk yesterday because, like, I have to sign papers and, like, I'm signing papers today, so once those are signed and then he submits them, like, it's done and done, thank God. But, like, I physically pretend like he's dead because, like, you still have love for that person. Like, I'm not sitting here ever bad mouthing him. Like
right.
we were two different people. So like I really have to like think of it that way. And like because you're hopefully for most people, your partner is like your best friend. So like you really have to think that's totally over and they're dead, you know?
Mm,
And everyone's journey is different, and, like, I had been processing the divorce for a long time before it even started and
right.
processing it after, but I think and I've heard this before, there's, like, a certain level of healing you can only get to on
Mm,
your own. Like, we always say how much we feel healed, and then we go home and we get re-triggered about everything that we grew up
right.
with and, like, get mad about and, like, become like, for me, it's like my reactivity shows up. I was
Mm,
reactive to my mom the other day, and I was like, "Ah!" Like like, when will this end?" You know? It will
mhm,
never end because those familial um relationships like they're
mhm.
very ingrained to how you grew up and like I always revert back to like 13-year-old me when I am at home, which is a
Yeah.
whole nother conversation about life updates and like living at home because that's like makes me want to blow my brains out sometimes, but there's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can do
Yeah.
on your own. And for me, I realized over the weekend, and it's kind of funny how this plays out, right? I realized over the weekend I was like crashing out over Army Man. And mind you, the whole breakup thing happened on Tuesday, which is like very ironic how that happened. I realized I was seeking his attention and like validation
Yeah.
um for what I'm doing, and just like validation of just like being seen and being wanted.
Mm.
And I was like feeling super needy, and I did talk to him about this, and he was like, I wish you would have told me that, and then I could have like reassured you that like I
Oh, ew.
also I know. I'm glad I didn't, because it like
Yeah,
all this.
no, no, let's not be.
If I would have told him that, then I probably may have not have went on that date on Monday, and then I probably would not have seen his extra volatile side. So,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
because he
yeah.
would have probably reassured me and said, like, "I like you so much. I wanna be with you. Like, let's be official." Because he did tell me on the phone he was gonna ask me to, like, be official after, like, 5 dates at that point.
Oh
Yeah.
my
So,
God.
it is a good thing this happened, because then
Yes,
I would have canceled that date on Monday. So, very good thing that happened.
yes, yes. Yeah.
But anyway, back to the growth. So, I was feeling, like, extra needy, extra, like, I just want attention, I want this, and so, like, I found myself in that pattern of doing that with a guy who's given me that, because that's his attachment style, which is anxious. So I really believe there's only so much you can do by yourself when it comes to healing, and healing like old wounds and what you're searching for on your own, until like you really need to be like in front of other people and experiencing other people to also heal those things.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. I agree that, yeah, there's only so much you can do in your current like state and with like the the familiar players that are in your life. Like the people that
Yeah.
you know, like new people force you to grow, new people force you to see what you don't like about yourself or what you do really like about yourself or what you value in different things. And that's not always like the easiest thing, but it is really beneficial.
Yeah. And yeah, it's not easy. So if anyone's ever telling you like you got to heal first on your own, like yeah, there's definitely like time and place. Like when I was really going through it, like even around my birthday, like the
Mm,
idea of dating then, no. But the month of April and into May really taught me so much, and just showed me more areas of where I am seeking validation. And I was talking to my somatic coach about this, and she was saying, like, don't look at like, oh my God, now I'm seeking validation from other people. Like, no, that's like a beautiful thing, because you grew up not getting that validation. And so your body's finding a way to receive that. And the aim is not to call yourself good or bad for things. It's just to be curious about why you're doing that. And what
yeah.
can we do to maybe foster more ways you can get that from yourself?
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Because if anybody out there is like, I don't seek external validation, you're a liar. Because
Hmm.
all of us want to feel validated and accepted and loved in some capacity. And like, that's just normal. That's just like being a
Yeah.
human being. And yeah, sometimes it like you run into situations where like you ignore every red flag you see and you're like, it's not that big of a deal or little things like that. And that's where a lot of times you start to build up the wall again because you got into a situation where like the validation was so good and then you were like, oh God, like no, this is actually like not something that I want at all. And it like makes you
Mhm,
take a step back. But like that's just like that is just a part of being a human and like living and
mhm,
like having a normal existence, honestly.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a ride. Couldn't be me. Could not be me doing this. I would just yeah, no, clearly wouldn't put up with it. I don't have the bandwidth to um deal with morons. That is my like point where I'm just like, no, immediate off, like just don't care.
Yeah. No, we have reassessed the game plan with dating, and it has now fundamentally changed.
It has fundamentally changed. I am dead. I mean, important though. This is like the second chapter of dating for you.
Mhm,
Like you had
mhm,
chapter one and it was like the first experiences, and now you're like, okay, chapter 2, what does that look like? And then chapter 3 is going to look different, and then chapter 20 is going to look different, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, does that conclude the update? Anything else?
I could do another one, or we can go into what we're going to
Whatever.
talk about.
Well, I just had a couple of things that I saw on TikTok, but if you have anything else to share, it's gonna take a hard left. Like it's so random, but I'm like obsessed with it.
Sure, I'll do one more. So went on a date yesterday, and we'll call him Mr. Geller. Like think of like Ross Geller from Friends. That's what?
Immediate ick. Why are
Why?
you calling him Ross Geller?
He gives Ross Geller vibes.
Oh God. No, he's the worst. He's a whiny,
Uh,
needy little bitch.
okay, no, I meant more in like he's like a combo of like Chandler and Ross Geller.
I'm so confused. Keep going. I just like
Okay.
Ross is objectively the worst. I need to hear this, and I think a renaming ceremony might need to be in.
I don't even think so because I'm cutting it off tomorrow.
Okay.
I might cut it off today, like during this
Okay.
podcast. Like, so we were going back and forth on Hinge, and then I was like, "Hey, can I be honest?" Like, yeah. And I was like, "I'm not a pen pal girl. Like, ask me out or don't." And he did, and so we went for coffee. I had a coffee shop work day. He doesn't drink coffee, so he got like a hot chocolate, which was kind of funny. Um, and this was my first
He's a
time.
little boy.
Is my first time. He's 34. My first time dating someone who is it effeminate? Like how do you call that for guys? You don't call a guy feminine. You call them effeminate.
Why can't you call them feminine?
I don't know. I think it's actually like
Oh, you
if you
would
want to look
say
it up.
effeminate, but I do think saying feminine is also like,
Okay, effeminate.
yeah,
Very,
okay.
very. And the conversation was so good. We were like covering this, covering that, but like I almost think the conversation went there because I've went on dates where immediately there's an attraction. So it's like it needs to be a little like spicy on the date, kind of flirty, banter,
Okay.
fun conversations. I want to know more about you. Let's go on date 2. This was let's have like deep conversations right off the bat. Like, but I wasn't mad about the conversations. But
Okay.
as the date went on, I did give him my number and I was like, "Yeah, I would see you again," because, like, I'm kind of in that, like, "Let's go on a date number 2,"
Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
after, like, experiencing everything and, like, I just made some, like, big life decisions last night and this morning. Now I'm like, "Okay, do I really need to be entertaining more guys that, like, I'm just, like, not sure?" Like, not really. Like, I really don't need to do that. So anyway, we're having really good conversation and this and that. I felt no inkling to break the physical barrier, nor was there like an opportunity to because like I didn't stand up when he got there and then I felt bad because he like sat down right away. You know, it was just like and then like I had to jump into a meeting when he left, so it was just like very awkward timing. So like I didn't break the physical barrier. And then he was just so feminine. I felt myself just like being like so masculine and like I need a guy that can be masculine enough to wake it makes me feminine. It makes me relax. It makes me feel
Right.
soft. It makes me feel like a little dainty princess. I felt like a big burly man the whole time.
Mm.
And I even
Mm.
had like a skirt on and a cute outfit. Like I just felt like a big burly man. And I did give him my number. We did not touch whatsoever. And we talked on the phone last night and we're talking about like our types. And like he definitely goes after like the Disney princess, which makes sense because the girl he's with needs to be so feminine, so dainty, so princess. There's no reason for her to be any masculine. Like me, I'm
Okay.
like a tomboy, but like I can be more feminine when I'm with the right person.
Right.
So like now that I'm just like sitting and thinking on it, like I think he'd be so fun as a friend. Like so
Mm.
fun. Like That's what my mom said.
Definitely not what he wants to hear. He would
I
be you would
know.
be so great as a friend. But you have to, it's better to be honest early
Yes.
because, people respect that. You don't want to get too
Yeah.
involved if you're really not feeling it, but what a blow. But
It gets
it is
worse.
what it is.
It
It
gets
is what
worse.
it is.
So it is what it is. That's on that. Last night we were talking and I was like, I want to be honest. Like, am I your type? Because I know I'm not.
Right.
And he was like, if you look at like a Venn diagram and there's like Miss Ross Geller and
Oh
there's
my God. Not the
what?
Venn diagram. Are you saying this or did he say this?
He's saying this. And there's like
No.
and
Oh
there's like
God. Yeah.
Maddie. He's like, we definitely have overlapping traits, but then there's like all this intrigue. So like we're both interested in each other, but like I think more out of just like curiosity because I was like, I've never dated anyone like you. And he goes,
Right.
do you think this straight theater boy is manly enough? I was like in my head, I don't know.
Oh my God.
So I'm gonna text him
Some
tomorrow.
theater girl though is gonna love that man because there
Yeah.
are not enough straight, cute theater boys.
Yeah, he's cute, but like just way it's
Not your
I
type.
would
And you're not really like a
no.
Broadway girly. So like that's not ever going to
I
make sense.
do I like going, but like
Yeah, but
it's
like
not
musicals, are you gonna sing? Are you gonna listen to the soundtrack in your car? No. And that's
no.
okay.
No.
That's okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna text him.
Not him talking about a Venn diagram, sir.
I know. Should I text
Yeah,
him
no,
today or
he's
tomorrow?
giving something.
I
Not
just
Ross,
think
but like that's never describe someone that you're dating as a Ross for the love of God, because that is an immediate like, why are you talking to him? Like he's the whiniest little bitch, and he's like,
okay. That's
you
true, yeah.
know what I
Definitely not
mean?
like that, but definitely
Right.
not like that. But just maybe kind of the way he looked,
Okay.
just
Okay.
and like just his like I don't know how to explain it. Just his I don't know.
His
But
aura.
it just like sucks because like he was like, "Have you found masculine guys that are like emotionally intelligent?" And I was like, "Not yet."
No, yeah, yeah, and you're honestly probably not.
I know, but I just don't think a feminine guy is for me because man, I just felt like I was like masculine mode, like
Right. Well, I think you'll find a balance of like my type is definitely like they're masculine. They are so confident that they have no problem. Like James has no problem with me being like wearing the pants. Like we always say in our household, I handle the day to day, he handles the big life decisions. And like
mhm,
he's fucking confident enough that it doesn't matter. I call him baby girl, doesn't fucking phase him. If he was like a fucking douchebag, he would be insulted by that. Like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he's so confident in who he is that it's like it literally doesn't fucking matter. I don't need to be like pretending like I'm some type of way. Like it doesn't matter to me. And you'll find that person that they are confident and they are masculine, but they're also not afraid to let you be who you are. Because you have, like myself, some masculine energy, some feminine energy. And it's important that you have somebody that allows you to express like the duality of you because you're not just like this like little dainty thing. You like to be when you feel like safe in a situation, but you're also somebody that is going to be powerful and you want to be in control sometimes and different things like that.
Mhm. Yeah. No, 100,000,000%. So, and that's probably why I was so into Army Man because I was feeling like that and I haven't
Yeah.
felt like that like in a long time. So it
Right.
was like alluring for a number of reasons. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is also why I was dating multiple people once because then you just kind of see like what you don't
Oh my God,
like,
yeah.
and you see the how people respond to things. Like
Hmm.
Army Man could have. there would have been no issue if he would have said to me, like, "Yeah, I would be a little disappointed that you went on a date," but I think that'd be normal. I think that's normal to be
But
a
you
little
didn't
disappointed.
have a conversation.
Yes,
You owe
yes, and
him
he
nothing.
yes, yes, I agree.
You are not allowed to be disappointed, or if you are, keep that to your fucking self, because unless you have a conversation like, "Hey, I really like you and I'm not gonna see other people. Like, how do you feel about that? Are you in a place where you're not gonna see other people?" But if you don't have that conversation, dude, I don't know. Oh, you shit. Like, you don't have a right to come at me and say, "Oh, I'm disappointed in you." Blow me. I don't give a fuck. Like,
You're right,
because
I'm
then
not
it's
gonna
it's
lie, you're
him
right.
guilt tripping you as if you've done something wrong when you
Ah,
never had a conversation. Like, he could be fucking bitches left and right. You don't know that. And he's like coming with you with a sob story. Like, you have no idea what he is doing. He
you're
only,
right.
and same with you, you allow him a specific amount of information and you don't even let him see your social media. So, like, there's no way that you should feel bad or even going forward, like, think, "Oh, I should operate a different way." No, unless you have an exclusivity conversation, then you
Yeah.
got to do you because they're probably doing them as well.
Doing all of them.
I mean, like, honest, we
That's such
have
a
to
good point.
be, you have to protect yourself.
Yeah.
That is, it's not
See,
you being like a bad person or going behind someone's back. It's you protecting yourself because this is dating. You are not dating your like a boyfriend. This is you dating people after getting out of a marriage.
and this is why I talked to you about it because I would be I was like, "Yeah, like, I kind of understand being upset." No, but you're right, like, he should have locked it down faster, but, like, I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have locked it down anyway because I had the conversation with eBay Man Monday night, and I said, "How has dating been going for you?" And he just came out of a long-term relationship, and
Yeah.
guess what his response was? He was like, "Well, it's been, like, a little bit weird because my friends have been trying to, like, hook me up with their friends." He goes, "Is
Yep.
this a weird conversation to have?" And I go, "No, not at all." Like, I am
Yep.
not like, and I also told him, like, my boundaries with sex, and I was like, "This is not for me to ask you to be my boyfriend. This is just me telling you what I'm willing to do when I'm meeting
Yep.
someone." He
Yep.
also took that fantastic, and I wouldn't have blamed him if he turned around the next day and said, like, "I don't wanna see you anymore," because maybe that's what he wanted, and that's fine,
Right.
but that's just an example of having 2 different conversations, one about boundaries and one about dating other people, where it was totally mature. He
Yep.
was like, "Yeah, I really haven't been in on any dates. I'm the first girl. We've been on 3 dates since he's left his relationship, and,
Yep.
like, we're having fun, we're getting to know each other, we're talking about all types of things," but having mature conversations, like, there was no blow up. There was no him getting mad at me,
Yeah.
like, he obviously knows I'm going on dates just like Ross Geller said to me. He was like, "Yeah, I figured you were going on dates," like, because he asked me, like, "How's that been?"
Easy.
And I was like, "Yeah."
That's normal. Like,
Yeah,
to assume anything about anyone when you are just newly like going on dates with them is such a, it just makes me feel as if he is really trying to assert his dominance all over you. Like, essentially he's trying to
yeah,
piss all over you. This is mine. And it's like, I don't even know that much about you. Like, we've talked for a while, we've gone on dates, but I am allowed, like, this is also your self-exploration.
yeah.
And so, yeah, no, this man is
We
just
dodged a bullet.
dodged a bullet. And you also are seeing you are, what you are more open to and what is like a definite no. And that's an important part of it too. Like, you have to, I think there's like, it's like a trial and error process, and you're going to have some wins and you're going to have some losses. And that doesn't mean that, like, it doesn't mean anything bad about you. It's just like trying to figure out, like, what do I actually want? Who do I want to be in a relationship? Who do I want to meet? And, like, you know, I think for him to like try and like take that away from you is like fucked up because you told them that about your divorce. It's like, bro, like, come on now, like, use your fucking like intuitive senses. Like, I not really trying to like hop into like a whole ass relationship. Like, I just got divorced.
Yeah. Yeah. And like even think about like where how much more volatile things could have gotten. Like you don't know. Like you
You
truly
have
do not
no
know.
idea.
Like
Mhm.
I literally don't know. So that glad that's over. Don't have to worry about that. I gotta tell Ross Geller we gotta just be friends. That will be
Don't
done.
say friends because that is so disingenuous. Just say,
Oh. No, I could see myself being friends with him.
oh Christ, really?
Because we had such good conversations and there was no like
I
I
don't
didn't
think a
feel
guy wants to. I would not want to hear that. Would you want to hear that?
okay, then I could say like I definitely got friend vibes. Is
I
that
think it's
better?
okay to just be like, I don't think we clicked, and that's okay, but I wish you all the best. Like, I don't want to waste your time. Like,
Okay,
you
just
don't gotta like, that's the oldest line in the book. We can still be friends. Really? I don't want to be your friend. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking for
well,
like maybe, a girlfriend or a wife or whatever. And he's like, oh, I'm
yeah.
getting this text about she wants to be my friend. It's like, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to say, it's embarrassing to receive. Like, it's just, oh, because no one means it. No one fucking
Mm.
means it. I said that to like my high school boyfriend when I broke up with him, and I'm like, I didn't mean it. I just like didn't know what to say because it's so awkward.
Yeah.
But like, you're a grown woman. We don't gotta mince words here, and that's okay. Again, it
I
doesn't
I
make you bad.
I know, but I actually did mean that. Like, I would hang out
Okay,
with him as a friend because there's numerous guys I broke it off with, and I
right.
never said we could be friends.
Okay,
I d so, like, I don't say things unless I, like, actually mean them, and I try to,
okay,
like, really live by that. So I
okay,
could see myself, like, going because 'cause I've been wanting to go dancing once my knees are, like, really solid. I'm like, I can see myself going dancing with him. I wouldn't be worried about anything.
right. But you also have to be prepared for him to not want that.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
like, if he was like, "No, thanks," like, he told me he's, like, friends with his exes and is
Oh.
going to one of his ex's wedding, like
Don't love that. What? Unless this is like you're like when you're like 6 years old or 7 years old and you have like a boyfriend in like kindergarten, like it's just like, oh yeah, he's my boyfriend. Like if we're talking about like it's like essentially like a childhood friend, yeah, no, you're not going to your ex's wedding. What?
Well, actually, though, I'm so glad
The
I did
only
not
way that works out is if somebody comes out and they're like, oh, I'm gay, or I'm like, and then it's like, oh, that's my ex from high school, and it's like ends up like,
yeah, yeah,
and then you have this great friendship and relate. That's the only way I'm accepting that. You're not going to your ex's wedding, or like a heterosexual relationship or a gay relationship. Like somebody has to like no longer be attracted
yeah.
because that's crazy. That's like, why are we keeping such close ties with the ex?
Yeah, I don't know, so I gotta send that message, but
I'm dead. No, honestly, good though. Like it's this sounds bad, but it's good practice
it
to
is.
go and, be with different people, have different conversations, practice setting like the boundary of like, you know what, this is actually not really what I'm interested in. Um, because I think a lot of people that's like a really uncomfortable part of dating, but it's like it's okay. Like it is a part of dating. It has to be because what are you gonna like just be with the first person that you like swipe onto or something? Like,
Almost happened to me. He wasn't the first, though.
but it also almost is like a silly word because I think even if that didn't happen, you would have seen a red flag at some point because you just like you're not gonna put up with like this crap of like again someone like trying to like own you. Like eventually you would have like
Yeah,
caught an
like,
aversion. You're like,
who
excuse me,
knows?
like I can fucking do what I want to do.
Yeah, who knows what came out of that? Like, got mad at
Ugh.
me, doesn't let me leave or something, like leave the house. Who freaking there were some other things, other stories where it was very toxic relationships that he was in. And I was like, it takes two to tango. So
Yes,
your
yes.
relationship is a mirror of like who you are too.
Yeah.
So, so it was just like lots of things that I was just like, it's fine.
Right, because you put on these rose-colored glasses, and a lot of things when you like someone, when you have a crush on someone, you can dismiss because you're like, oh, this poor guy, he was in this crazy relationship and he's the good person in this, right? Like when you want to see what you want to see, you can mold it. But when you take a step back, it's like, well, really, there's three sides to a story: yours, mine, and the truth. And somewhere in there, I've definitely told a story where I'm being really biased and like
Mhm.
maybe not owning that like I was kind of in the wrong in a situation because we all do it. It's like we're biased because we're looking to somebody to be like, "Hey, validate me. This was crazy." But it's like everybody plays a part and like in some cases, right? Like it is very much like you can have an innocent party, but for the most part in relationships like there is always that gray area. And so, of course, you're like, oh my God, he has been through so much, this poor thing. And you're like, I could never do that. And then you're like, oh my God, he's like rage texting me and like hanging up on me. And like, this is,
Well,
well,
he didn't rage text me, but he
well,
did
no,
like
but it's fun to
raise
say
his
that
voice.
phrase. Well, he raised it, okay, like hanging up on you and like Maddie and I were on the phone and I was like, when did we like stop swearing? Because she goes, well, yeah, he like said the F word. And I was like, oh my God, he was saying the F word to you or using the F word in a conversation. And like, when did we like become afraid of saying fuck? Like
What? No,
we were so taken aback though. It's like
yes.
in this context, like he didn't say fuck to you or he didn't say fuck in a conversation. It was like he said the F word to you. Like we were taken aback.
Yeah, it was just like that. Like, I just, yeah, will never put up with a man raising his voice at me because
No.
that's a level of disrespect. That's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing as like slapping you in the face because it's just a precursor to things
Yep.
getting more volatile. So if they're willing to raise their voice at you and disrespect you, they're willing to take it a step further.
Yeah. Yeah. It's allegedly. Um,
Oh, well, allegedly. Yeah, I mean, like,
well, allegedly. We don't know. We don't know about this specific person. You gotta
oh, yeah, but I think
protect
oh,
yourself. Um, no, but it is like and this is a really good part of dating and why like you have girlfriends or you talk to your sister or your mom or whomever you talk to and just having people to kind of especially when you're in a situation like you where you are just like newly dating having people being like really that was kind of weird or like helping you navigate the waters because like you're not really sure. Like you're not seeing things so clearly because you're new to this and like you're
yeah,
assuming that people are putting them best selves out there and they kind of are until they slip and you're like was that, were they in a bad mood? Was I in the wrong or was that like actually fucking crazy? And he was a case of that
100%.
was fucking crazy.
Okay, hard left turn, TikTok.
Oh man, now it feels so silly. So there are these desserts that I'm seeing from this one specific bakery, and I don't know if you've seen them, but they are these like really decadent and like delicate looking desserts. I like took a screenshot of it,
Interesting.
and they're like these big, like, let me try and get the TikTok. They're like these big, like berries, or they are
Big berries.
famous LA. Oh no, it's West Hollywood desserts. So this girl, this mukbanger, her name is Jenny Eats or Jane Eats. Jane Mukbangs. Oh, Jane Mukbangs. Okay. So here are the desserts.
Oh, wait, I've seen that once or twice.
Like, I am so obsessed with them, and I love the ASMR of it. And I ended up on like this side of TikTok, and there is something that just like scratches my brain about them because they look so light and like fluffy, but they also like are filled with a bunch of stuff. And then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like watching her page and I'm like, there are some mukbangers that are fat, right? There are some mukbangers that are like skinnier, like kind of more like straight sized. How, how, when you're eating, like people do the crumble cookie reviews every week, or they'll go to Chick-fil-A or Raising Cane's and they do these like mukbangs in the car, these desserts. How are they, how are some of these people like not overweight?
Well, I saw something about mukbangers and how like they don't like chew the food. Like they just have a few bites and they spit it out. Like I've seen that. People talk about
Oh,
that, how they're not eating all that food. Like they're really not. Like they
oh,
have like a bucket and they're just like,
oh.
and then they're not recording all of it.
Yeah, I could see that. I know, but at least for like the crumble cookies, like I guess, yeah, I guess on a lot of them you don't know if they swallow, but there are some mukbangers that don't cut. So like you do, but like you do see like chew and swallow. But
Yeah.
that is so interesting to me. Like I kind of love watching mukbangs. Like I don't know
Mhm.
why. I just find it like so fascinating and like I just love the ASMR of it sometimes it's like gross and like people will be like slurping and I'm like okay that's gross but like sometimes
Ugh.
hearing like the crunch I'm like that like scratches something in my brain like
Yeah,
these dessert videos I like was
they
showing
sound
James and
crunchy.
he's like I don't get it and I'm like what I'm like you don't get it I'm like look at how first of all look at how gorgeous these desserts are and then hearing the crunch and like I just want to know what they taste like. And there's some like notoriety about them because they're like really expensive. And like you have to eat them within an hour or they need to be like refrigerated again because they're so
Ah,
delicate. So it's kind of like
ah,
this exclusivity factor. I don't know. I'm like obsessed with it. And
interesting.
I think like you like drop it in the comments. You either get mukbangs or you don't. And I don't really know how to describe it, but like I get mukbangs.
I get them, but at the same time, like, I'm not gonna participate ever in that. Like, I feel like it's I don't know,
Well,
like, I
I'm
just
not
don't.
gonna do a mukbang. Well, technically, a mukbang is just like it's basically like Korean eating show. So, like, if we were on the podcast and I was like eating a yogurt, that's technically a mukbang. But nobody wants to
Oh,
watch that. You're watching for like kind of like the crazy shit or like the really decadent shit or whatever.
okay, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, the slurping, I like the ASMR, like, the crunch. Like, I do,
Yeah.
like it reminds me of, like, some chocolate bars, like Crunch bars or the waffle, and it's like, like
I
Allie's like,
love
"That's" she's like, "That's
it
euphoric."
scratches my brain and I am just like, yeah, replay or like when they're cutting the soap or the sand.
Yeah.
I love it. There's this girl that also makes like Rocky Roads, which is
Uh-huh.
basically like she like buys like the Tony's chocolate, which have you ever had Tony's chocolate?
No.
Fair trade, super ethical, the best chocolate ever. Like
Uh-huh.
it gives me like Willy Wonka.
Okay.
Like it's so good. It's like big. They have so many different flavors, whatever. So she'll like chop it up and because it's thick and there's like nuts in it or like different things, like it has like a beautiful crunch. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
I was made to experience like the sound of a crunch. Like that's what I was made for. I
Wait,
was.
why is that so funny? I was made to experience the sound of a crunch. I like that.
It makes me just feel like satisfied. Like I'm just like, yeah, that was everything. I'm a simple
Every
girl when it comes down to it.
You are.
I was also raised a lot by YouTube. So the mukbang is like not surprising, but these desserts got me really curious. I'm like, how can I like ship them to me? Or like, where can I get these that's like semi local? I'm not having any luck. It's like Paris, London,
Oh.
West Hollywood. Like I am not having an easy time trying to find something, but they just look so good.
Hmm. Well, maybe one day when we're in Paris together, we'll have to do that.
I've been to Paris already. Did you know that?
Oh no.
I went when I was a kid
Lucky.
and then I went when I was older because my parents ran the marathon there. And so we went when I
Oh,
was like a
cool.
kid and I got like lost in Versailles. Yep. It was really scary. It was really scary. I was like, "Oh no, I'm going to be like adopted by like a French family. I'm never going to find my parents." And it was really scary. And Kate got locked in a bathroom somewhere. I don't remember,
Why
but
does
it was
that
a
not
really great
surprise
trip.
me?
Great trip. Yeah, not surprising. I got lost and I just remember like we were having a picnic and all I remember is like a baguette and then I just like have flashes of like being lost and I knew we were in Versailles, but I'm like, where am I? So that was weird.
Flashes of being lost. Have you checked the question submission in a minute?
I can pull that up. You want me to pull that up?
I Well, we have nothing new, but we
We
can
never
answer the
answered that
one.
question.
Let's answer that one and
Let's
then we can.
answer it because how are we going to tell you guys to drop questions in the anonymous question box if we're not fucking reading them? So, this is question and answer. What is a good name for this?
Oh yeah, we
The
didn't
kind of
figure
hot
out
question drop.
the question corner. I don't
The
know.
question corner. Okay, read it and let's go.
Okay. What are some tools for adjusting expectations in friendships when you're slowly growing apart from your friend?
Okay. I think so
Wait, can you hear that
one of
outside?
my girlfriends kind of had like a friendship breakup, if you will.
Wait, pause. Can you hear the construction outside?
No, no.
Okay.
One of my girlfriends had like a friendship breakup and she's still friends with the girl but like on a less intimate level. And so I think if you find you're growing apart from somebody and you do want to create distance, you want to put up a boundary, I think you just have to be honest and like message them, be like, "Hey, like do you want to like go meet for a coffee?" Right? Like talk in person. If this person is important to you and you still want them in your life, but maybe they've done some shitty things or maybe you guys are just like really growing apart, I think it's okay to just like have a social friend and just say like, look, like we've just been kind of growing apart and like I know this is like kind of an awkward conversation, but like maybe we just stop putting the pressure that we used to in our friendship. Like I kind of need a break right now. And
Mhm.
I think you just, again, like with dating, you have to be open to people not receiving it well, but knowing that you are coming from a good place. And it's not necessarily what you say, but it's how you say it. And say really what you mean, but don't come across as mean. Like be your honest self, but you don't have to make people feel badly because it is already like a sensitive conversation, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I don't know how many like friendships ending you have had, Allie, but like the most recent one for me was now years ago.
Yeah.
And it wasn't this big ending, but it was more of like a realization that like she didn't like me. And I was always reaching out to her, and then I just stopped reaching out to her.
So, but
So
that's like you didn't really care if she was still in your life because you were like, okay, I'm going to stop reaching out. And then at some point you were like, oh, okay, I was the one that was always reaching out.
yeah, but we were very, very close, but she had said quite a few things to me that were, like, out of maybe jealousy or spite or things like that, and I was like, "Do I really want someone in my life like that?" So, like, for me, like, we were growing apart, but, like, also growing apart because she was saying rude things to me, and I
Right.
was just
Okay.
kinda letting it slide because we were such good friends. Like, I'm more of, like, I think about things, and then, like, afterwards, I'm like, "Oh, like, that I can't believe that
Mm.
happened," you know? So, like, it was almost like, do I even wanna say, like, "Hey, this hurt when you said that," because like, did I wanna save the friendship at that point? No.
I think there's two different people's styles. Like if you don't care, like if you didn't need to speak your piece, like you were like, I don't care, like the friendship's over anyways, that might be one way. But some on the other end, there might be people that like, I know the friendship is over, but I still want to let you know, like, why I think this ended. And I think like there's no right or wrong way, but it's about like what do you want out of it? Like the individual, what do you want?
Yeah.
What is your expectation? Do you need closure? Do you still want this person in your life, but in a different capacity? Or
Yeah.
are you totally okay with moving on and just like wiping your hands of a situation?
I mean, yeah, that's what I did. Like, I
Right.
was heartbroken to an extent, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I was like, this person's been mean to me. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's
We don't
there's
fuck with
no
the meanness.
no, and I think there's value in being direct and honest. Literally every time I am direct and honest to people, like they value it because we're so afraid to hurt feelings. But like Ali said, like there's a way to get your point across without being like rude. You don't have to be
Yeah.
rude to get your point across. Just say like, hey, like I noticed, maybe this is me like you're slowly growing apart and maybe I mean it's kind of like two sides here, like how like what are tools for adjusting expectations, like is that just for yourself, and are you slowly growing apart because you want to slowly grow apart or because you feel them
Right.
pulling back? If you want to slowly grow apart, it's just telling yourself like, hey, I'm good with seeing them maybe once a month, not 3 4 times a month, or if you're slowly growing apart because you notice them pulling back but you want them more in your life, maybe it's coming up with like talking to them, like asking them, does something change? Are
Mm-hmm.
you going through something? I think there's just more to that question that to get some more like, you know get a better pinpoint answer.
Yeah. And with friendships, I believe it also depends on how long this person has been in your life. Because if there's someone that's been in your life a while and you want to continue having them in your life, but you feel like you need a pause, that will have you going into conversations differently and having expectations be differently because
Hmm.
you can kind of put somebody on pause in your life or they might put you on pause, but it doesn't mean that like you're out of their life forever. So again, it does matter like what you want, like what is your specific expectation, because if you
Hmm.
are good with a friendship ending, then there's one way to go about it. But if you are trying to have this person in your life, but at the moment in time you guys are kind of going through a rough patch, there's a separate conversation that needs to be had. And I am
Yeah.
just of the mindset and like place in my life that the people that I want in my life and maybe we're like in a weird place right now, like I can communicate with them and they know that I still love them and I know that they still love me, but like we are allowed to have a cooling off period. And like
Hmm.
maybe you can just be brunch friends for a while. Maybe you see each other once a month in like a group setting and try and rebuild maybe what happened. It also depends, I guess, like what happened, right? Like
Hmm.
sometimes you just outgrow people, or sometimes like they are not treating you very nicely and you call out that behavior.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like as an adult, you are willing to put up what you're willing to put up with. So you either are
Yeah.
willing to like be in like shitty friendships or you do the uncomfortable thing and you like stick up for yourself and advocate for
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. I mean, another red flag about Army Man was that, like, he was saying, like, his friends, like, his civilian friends, like, aren't all that great of people. He's like, not like, and I think it's such a good thing to remember is like, you are a summation of the friends you're spending time with. So if you are like, I don't know if I really love myself, like the trajectory. I'm like, look at who you're spending your time with. And maybe those
Yeah.
friends like aren't where you want to be or aren't supportive of your goals. And maybe you do need to reevaluate who you're spending time with. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's part of the reason I'm kind of not taking a left turn out of dating, but just like really focusing starting to focus more on making more girlfriends because love Allie, but you're not right next door to me, you know? So it's just hard to like not have close girlfriends nearby. All of my coaching friends are all over. They're not here.
Yeah.
So it's just that's difficult. But so when I've been meeting more girls, like this girl, her nickname's Sushi, which is like adorable. She is very go-getter, very educated, like wants to do active stuff. Like that's the type of people like I want to be around. Like I don't want to be around people that are drinking and just gossiping, complaining about. I want go-getters. So like if you're unhappy with your friendships and like unsure, look at where they're at in their life and where you want to be and does that make sense? Are they supporting you? And and if they aren't, like maybe it's time to cut ties or just slowly let that fade out and that kind of thing and make the effort to make new friends who fit the lifestyle that you want.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm also okay with, in my personal life, having friends that don't necessarily care fully about the same things that I do, because we've just really hit it off on other things. And so like it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter all that much to me. So you might also just reevaluate, and they just might not be as into certain things as you, but like what can you find that you both really enjoy doing? And maybe that's why there's been a rough patch, because you're
Mhm.
getting frustrated that like they're not excited about what you're doing, or maybe vice versa. I think
Mhm.
it's just like, at the end of the day, like look around, like who you want to have in your life, and like who is going
Mhm.
to be there to support you, and know who is just kind of like a surface level friend. And like that's
Yeah.
okay. I think it's good to have a couple of surface level friends, because when you see them, it's never heavy. It's like it's easy. We can just have a laugh. It's light. And like sometimes we need that energy. Sometimes we do. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, drop your questions about friendship. I want to go down this path more. Maddie is meeting new friends. If you want to hear more about, like, you just moved to a city, you left a relationship, you are just like wanting some new girlfriends, Maddie will talk about that. She will answer those questions. So drop them in the anonymous question box. And I think that's a good question box topic. Anything else you are asking for them to throw in the question box?
No, I like the friends. I mean, if you have a good dating story, don't feel
Always,
shy about
always a good dating story.
it's anonymous, so don't worry. No one's gonna know who it is, and like mine, I use code names.
Yes, we
So
love a code name.
which is kind of funny because, like, all the guys know the code name for them, but they don't know moving forward. None of them know my last name. None of them know me on social media. So, like, how are they ever gonna find this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's be real. But that's on that. So thank you guys so much for listening and watching Kinda Hot, Kinda Healthy. Please make sure to subscribe, give us a 5-star review, share this with your girlfriends who need to hear this. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you can stream podcasts. Bye.
Bye.